Okay, proposals. Let's talk about proposals. It is now week 2, and you need to have some thought in your head about what it is that you want to spend the semester. Granted, it is a short semester, but 8 weeks is a long time when you are having to research something you find boring. So please, for heaven's sakes, choose something that you can spend 8 weeks on and not feel like you're going to pull your hair out. So let's look at the assignment sheet and review what it is that you should keep in mind as you are thinking about what your topic is going to be. Okay, so you are going to introduce a couple of things that you might be interested in applying yourself to over the course of the semester. Limit yourself to 1 or 2. If you are not 100% sure about whether one is good or not, if you're leaning more towards one, but you just really don't know for sure, include both of them, and I will be happy to tell you which one I think is quote unquote best. But do keep in mind that you have to keep this topic for the rest of the semester. You want to make sure that it is related to a problem. So it shouldn't be merely informational, but it needs to include the concept of an issue that has come up that you're aware of, whether it's something that's within a very small sphere of your existence, like let's say, your town, or a group of friends who, get together to maybe play video games, and you've run into a problem with that group. There's a problem there. You can go that small and that itty bitty, or you can go to the world and discuss global warming or something like that. I think probably locally is the best, partly because these are things that are helpful to be aware of, problems that are going on in your neighborhood or your city. Those are things that you really probably want to be aware of. So try to stick locally. If you want to go globally, that's fine too. If you want to go statewide, that's fine too. There's plenty of problems out there that you can chase down. All right, so you want to make sure that you include these bullet points in your description of what your problem is, what your topic is. What is your topic? You want to keep that front and center, a description of your topic. Tell me what it is that you're interested in, and how you're going to go about researching it to begin with, what that research question is. Maybe a working thesis statement would be a good plan, even though at this point you might not know for sure what you want to argue. One of the most important aspects of doing research like we are doing it here is that you choose something that you don't know everything about. Don't pick something that you're already extremely well informed on. I hope that if you were to write a working thesis statement for an improvement to whatever this problem is, by the time you got to the point where you needed that thesis statement, it would no longer apply, because you would have such a much more nuanced and involved understanding of the problem. But for the time being, the working thesis statement should be in there with the caveat and absolute understanding that you must improve on it, make it more specific as you come to understand your topic better. You want to consider who your target audience would be. And by target audience, because we talk about audience in writing all the time, target audience, it means who it is that can make a difference in the world with this problem. Who do you imagine could fix the problem? There's many audiences that we might have for various pieces of writing. When you write anything for this class, you're going to have multiple audiences in your head. Obviously, you're worried about your grade, so you're going to have the teacher, me, in your head as the first audience. Is the teacher going to find this acceptable kind of audience? But then there's also the broader audience. You've got your imagined perfect audience who is held enraptured by what it is that you're writing. And then there's the more likely audience, maybe a classmate, that kind of thing. So there might be multiple audiences that would be reading your essay. But for the purposes of this, you want to be specific about who it is that you imagine can fix the problem. Make sure that you include a very clear description and explanation of what the problem is, where your research paper ultimately is going to focus. Make sure that you include some discussion of how this is actually a problem. For some people, they might read your description and say, well, that's not a problem. That's a feature, that's not a bug, it's a feature. So you want to make sure that you have presented your description of your issue or topic as a problem, and as a problem that will impact your reader. How are you going to do your research? So these are the things that you want to get into this essay. 500 words minimum. I have a rubric on the page where we go to submit, and we will look at that next. All right. Down here is where you will submit your proposal. And you should be able to see, if I'm not mistaken, oh darn, okay, when you get here to this point, you will be able to see the file that is the rubric. I'll make that available. I thought that was there, but clearly it is not. The rubric will just be kind of like a checklist, and it will run through all of these things and, ask that you make sure that you have done those things. We've got some readings that are due. I've given you some lecture notes that go along with the reading. Here we go. The lecture notes go along with the reading, and both of those things will be helpful as you take this quiz, which is due March 30th by midnight. There's also a forum, a discussion board. It is ungraded, but it will be how I take attendance for last week. So, or for this week, yeah. I will use it to take attendance for this week. I've got that date messed up. So I will be submitting attendance at the end of the week on the Monday following week 2, and it will be for this week, and I will look at that discussion board to determine whether or not you were present in class. So hopefully that's, I'm going to fix that. What's right there, that's not right. All right, so if you have some questions about this, please let me know. If you have issues, problems, if you can't download something, let me know, although probably my response will be after I help you troubleshoot it a little bit. I really don't know what's going on, contact IT. So technologically speaking, I am not the sharpest tool in the shed, and I am aware of that. But I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you online.